or BMF. Why fighters really want this belt. The BMF belt doesn't change the rules of the sport, but it does change the rules of conversation. It's not a division title, but a career accelerator. Its owner gets not only the belt and the spotlight, but also the right to choose the next fight, the opponent's name, and the venue. Let's break it down in simple terms. Why fighters chase it, how the UFC uses this format, and what viewers need to understand. What is BMF in practice? It's a showcase for fighters who make an event not only about the result, but also about character. Formally, it is not a championship belt for a specific weight class, but in fact, it is main event status for those who are ready to fight spectacularly and without unnecessary cue mathematics. BMF allows the UFC to put on big fights when the classic titles are occupied or the champions are injured without losing any of the excitement. For fighters, it's access to the most expensive stage without having to go through the #1 ranked fighter. For fans, it's a guarantee of pace, excitement, and understandable stakes. Three real reasons why stars are going for BMF. The first is leverage. With BMF, you have more weight in negotiations, higher fees, more carefully selected opponents, and dates that are tailored to you. The second is money and reach. BMF posters attract a wide audience because it's not just the sport that's being sold, but also the image. The third is a way around bureaucracy. When a division title is up for grabs for a long time, BMF gives the fighter a big night now, not a year from now. Turmo, how BMF accelerates your career. How it works. BMF turns a fighter into a storyteller. You don't just go out there to fight. You offer a storyline that can be easily explained in one sentence. Winning in such a main event gives you the immediate right to loudly announce your next opponent and not wait 6 months for approval. Even a defeat in a fair fight doesn't hurt as much as a failure in a regular contender fight, because the audience and the promotion appreciate the risk taken and the willingness to put on a show. Why is this important for the UFC? The promotion has a constant task of keeping up with a busy schedule. It is not always possible to bring in the lineal champion, and the schedule does not always work out. BMF fills the gaps in the schedule without losing broadcast ratings, and it is convenient to put together strong co-main events and bring in local names. Another plus is interdivision crossovers, when you need to combine fan bases from 145, 155, and 170 pounds in one night. BMF is the perfect bridge. What a fighter needs to get a BMF fight first. A recognizable style. It's not about rushing forward mindlessly, but about letting the viewer know in advance that it's going to be an intense open fight. Second, a willingness to take risks. BMF is rarely about a cautious chess game. It's more about betting on the here and now. Third, a voice. Fresh speech into the microphone. A clear challenge. Simple motivation. Fourth is media discipline. Short, memorable messages before and after. Fifth is the pace of the camp. BMF often puts fighters in situations where they need to quickly turn around their preparation, and not every fighter can keep up. What the winner gets and why the loser doesn't burn out. The winner takes away more than just the belt from the cage. He takes away the agenda for the coming weeks. Everyone is talking about him, not the rankings table. In the negotiations that follow, the advantage is on his side. He can push harder for his opponent, the venue, and the date. The loser, if he put up a fight, usually does not lose his position critically. BMF rewards not only the result, but also the way you went about it. That's why many are willing to take greater risks here than in a regular contender fight. Where BMF works best: Las Vegas in July, New York in the fall, large international stadiums. Venues where the show and the story are more important. In these windows, BMF has maximum reach. Tourist traffic, big media, high check. It's easy to put together a card for such a main event, a bright co-main event, one local star fight, one top prospect, and the evening comes together without any unnecessary math. Which fighters benefit most from BMF? Those who are between title chances. Let's say you lost a big fight, but you're still driving interest. BMF brings you back to the main event without a long road back. Those who are moving up between weight classes. A crossover with the BMF belt is the best way to test a new category and not get stuck in the rookie ranks. Those whose name is stronger than their record. There are fighters who are included for the sake of the event, not the numbers. BMF is just for them. And finally, those who are building a legacy. Titles come and go, but the events that are remembered remain. In this sense, the BMF belt is about memory, briefly about the risks and why they pay off. The main risk is pace. You have to give the audience the intensity they expect. The second risk is short camps. BMF fights often come with accelerated deadlines. The third risk is Plan B. If the early assault doesn't happen, you need to be able to steer the fight in your direction so you don't burn out halfway through. Why is it still worth it? Because the gains in recognition and negotiating power often outweigh one unsuccessful evening. And if you win, your course for the next 6 months is set in stone. Why BMF does not devalue championship titles? Because they are different products. A linear title is about proving you're the best in your weight class, while BMF is about leadership and entertainment value and character. They do not compete with each other, but complement each other. The champion maintains the structure of the division, while BMF maintains its image. Often, it is BMF fights that prepare the ground for subsequent championship fights, warming up the market and making names even louder. How to watch BMF correctly. Don't confuse it with contender chess. Here, it's not the tables that are judged, but the evenings. Evaluate each fighter's bet. Who takes risk at the start? Who pulls the distance? Who takes the end of the rounds? Understand that losing in such a fight is not a fall into the abyss, but part of the deal for the right to enter the main stages. And one more thing, BMF often brings together styles that rarely meet in the title queue. This is a chance to see a clash of personalities that would not have made it to the signing of contracts in the usual calendar. Why do fighters keep coming back for this belt? Because it turns courage into real stuff. Money, dates, opponents, influence. It's one thing to be awesome in the co-main event, but it's another to get to the main event with a belt that proves you're the one who delivers the big nights. For some, it's a bridge to the championship title. For others, it's a way to cement their legacy. And for others, it's the perfect platform for crossovers and dream fights that don't work in the ranking system. 3 typical BMF night scenarios. Early shock. One of the fighters sets such a pace in the first 5 minutes that his opponent doesn't have time to regroup. This is the most viral scenario, which blows up the feeds and automatically sells the winner's next fight. A protracted war. Pace is high, but without any sudden turning points. The judges count the minutes. The audience gets 5 rounds of entertainment, and the status of both fighters rises. Turning point in the middle. A classic for top matchups. The drama builds up to the 3rd round, where it becomes clear whose energy and will is stronger. This scenario best showcases BMF because it reveals both character and skill. What's next for the BMF winner? Immediately a window to the next quarter. You can take on an opponent from a neighboring weight class. You can knock on the door of your division's champion. You can lead a major arena with a home market. The loser also has options. A rematch, a new style challenge, a local stadium. And this is an important detail. BMF rarely leaves anyone without a story for tomorrow. Conclusion, BMF is a tool for controlling the agenda. It is needed by fighters who want to accelerate their careers, and it is needed by the UFC to keep up the pace of big weekends. It does not replace championship titles, but it makes them more valuable because it warms up the crowd and teaches viewers to love not only the winners, but also those who are willing to pay for the risk. If you look at the belt without filters, it's a fair contract. You give courage and spectacle, and in return you get the spotlight, big names, and the right to decide your next move. In a world where attention is currency, BMF is the fastest way to cash in on a single night.